Warning, this video contains team selection and captain choices which some viewers may find offensive.
Hey guys, and welcome back to FPL TV. Before looking to Game Week 33, let's see how the lads are currently performing in the ongoing Game Week 32. It was Jesse Lingard who finally came into the side last week, and despite the Hammers losing to Newcastle, he continued his superb run of form, now returning FPL points in all but one of his 10 appearances for West Ham, a quite incredible record. The points were a bit more fortunate on this occasion, because he scored from the spot moments after Mark Noble got subbed. But regardless, it was nice to finally be on the right end of his points for a change. It also happened to be the perfect goal for me, with Soufal providing the assist, his third in 3 games. Lovely stuff. Because of Lingard's consistency, he was definitely in my considerations for captaincy last week, but with Son and Kane having that double game week, it was always hard to look past those two. In the end, they were my 2 highest scorers, so the obvious choice ended up being the correct choice on this occasion. There was also a welcomed clean sheet from Rudiger this week, with Chelsea continuing to be very solid defensively. Although that shock 5-2 defeat to West Brom was a concern, it appears to be nothing more than an outlier, with Chelsea otherwise still boasting very good defensive stats, only conceding 6 big chances in the last 10 Premier League games. There were blanks everywhere else in my side, and it's perhaps Fernandes and Jota who were the most disappointing. Not in terms of individual performances, but simply down to the expectation I had when they were facing Burnley and Leeds. That's 2 blanks in 2 now since buying Jota, but in fairness, over those 2 game weeks, he has produced the most shots inside the box of any player in the league, so promising underlying stats there at least. As for Bruno, well, in the last 4 games, United have scored 9 goals and he's only had involvement in 1 of them. This regression may be down to Pogba now being back in the side, and that's certainly something on my mind for the end of the season run-in. So it's a score of 64 for my side so far this week, with Jamie Vardy still to play at home to West Brom. As things stand, 64 has given me a decent rise in the rankings, and as mentioned in my last video, Vardy is one of my biggest differentials this week. So him versus Iheanacho this evening will be a make or break situation for my game week. Let's move on to Game Week 33 now, and check out my plans for the upcoming weekend. Also, if you enjoy the content here at FPL TV, then be sure to leave a like and most importantly get subscribed. You can also hit the notification bell so you always know when a new video goes live. As you probably know by now, for Game Week 33, 4 teams blank in total, with Fulham, Southampton, and more notably Tottenham and Man City not featuring, and this is due to Man City and Spurs having the cup final this weekend. In my side, 3 players will miss out in Diaz, Kane and Son, and although I can still put out a starting 11 more or less, the side isn't looking particularly strong this week, with 7 of my players from United, West Ham, Chelsea and Leeds all facing each other. For a while now, I've been eyeing up this game week as a chance to utilise the free hit chip, and that's still what I intend to do. There's some nice looking fixtures to target in Game Week 33, and by using the free hit now, it allows me to utilise all that money currently sat on my bench in Kane and Son. In the following game week 34, Tottenham then face bottom of the league Sheffield United, so once the free hit is done, Kane and Son will conveniently come back into my squad for a strong fixture there. The alternative, of course, would be to hold on to my free hit a bit longer, with a potential double game week still to come in Game Week 35. But looking at my starting 11 this week, I'm really not happy with how the side is shaping up, and free hitting this week has been in the plan for a while, so let's take a look at a potential free hit draft. For the free hit this week, as mentioned, there's a few decent fixtures that I'd be looking to target, with Liverpool at home to Newcastle and Leicester at home to Palace looking particularly appealing. Of course, I'll have to see how Leicester play against West Brom on Thursday first. In all of my free hit drafts, I've had a Liverpool triple up for this one, with Mo Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold nailed into the side. Diogo Jota will likely be the third option, who is of course much easier to fit into this draft than Sadio Mane is. However, with Sadio Mane being such a big differential at 5% ownership, and going under the radar lately with 3 returns in his last 4 games, Mane is certainly a strong consideration for me, who may not be justifying his price this season but could be perfect as a 1-week punt. United, who are in good goal scoring form of late, have a trip away to Leeds this week, a fixture that saw 8 goals in the previous meeting. And with Mason Greenwood, another differential who's in exceptional form right now, he feels a no-brainer for the free hit this week. His teammate Edison Cavani is also in my thoughts for this Leeds fixture. I'm just not sure I trust United enough for the triple up, especially with Leeds not conceding as many goals in recent games. From a defensive point of view, I think Brighton's fixture away to already relegated Sheffield United looks a good one. The Blades have struggled all season for goals, whilst Brighton on the other hand have defended very well of late, only conceding 9 goals in their last 10 Premier League games. In that time, Sheffield United have only managed 3 goals in the last 10 games, so statistically I think Lewis Dunk looks to be a good shout this week, and potentially a double up with Sanchez in goal. Other fixtures I like this week from a defensive point of view is Leicester at home to Palace, hence the inclusion of Pereira this week, and also Wolves at home to Burnley, but right now I'm struggling to fit in a Wolves defender. For the captaincy in Game Week 33, obviously being on the free hit, there's plenty of solid options throughout the draft, and arguably I could captain any of the front 7 this week. It's likely, however, I'll keep it simple in terms of captaincy, with Mo Salah looking a very solid bet at home to Newcastle, especially having been rested in the previous game. Iheanacho, Vardy, Greenwood and Jota could all be great differential captaincy shouts this week, but from these options, Mo Salah is the one I trust the most. West Brom's Pereira is a punt I could take in midfield, with Aston Villa not looking the best defensively in recent games. And with the Baggies currently fighting for survival, Pereira really has that talisman feel about him. He's on penalties too, so could be a decent shout as a 1-week punt. His place in the draft is certainly not nailed, and there's a few other players in consideration, but I'm going to have to watch him closer against Leicester on Thursday evening first. This free hit draft is subject to change, and the Brighton attack may also be worth a look when facing bottom of the league this week. Therefore Trossard could be a good alternative to Pereira. As mentioned, Sadio Mane and Cavani are also in my thoughts for this game week, as is a Wolves defender at home to Burnley. So that's all my thoughts heading into Game Week 33. My decision to free hit is pretty much locked in, but the final free hit draft could certainly still change before the deadline, especially with Leicester and West Brom still to play on Thursday evening. If you are keen to see the final free hit draft, then be sure to check out the FPL TV Twitter page shortly before the Game Week deadline. Good luck to you all for Game Week 33, FPL responsibly, and I'll catch you all very soon.